The man accused of killing a 13-year-old Spokane boy in a shooting enters his plea. We're in the courtroom to hear what he says.
A break in the action tomorrow, but more rain and snow is in the forecast starting Wednesday night and taking us through the weekend.
Cleaning up our gateways really says, hey, we're so glad you're here. Welcome to Spokane.
Spring cleaning in Spokane. The city is getting ready to shine in the national spotlight for March Madness.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
It's good to have you here. I'm Whitney Ward. The man who is accused of shooting and killing a 13-year-old boy in Spokane has now pleaded not guilty.
Glenn Berkey appeared for his arraignment this morning. Berkey facing 5 charges, including first and second-degree murder, along with drive-by shooting for the killing of 13-year-old Gavin Looper.
What is your plea to count 1, murder in the first degree?
Not guilty.
Count 2, murder in the second degree.
Not guilty.
Count 3, drive-by shooting.
Not guilty.
Count 4, second-degree assault.
Not guilty.
And count 5, first-degree unlawful possession of a firearm.
Not guilty.
Now, as you heard, he pleaded not guilty to all of the charges against him. Back in January, Looper was at a family friend's house playing video games when a bullet fired from outside the home killed him. Police said evidence shows Berkey fired 5 shots into the home.
Police tracked him down to Montana where he was arrested, then brought back to Spokane. Today, a judge set a trial date for April 12th.
A Spokane man is accused of dealing drugs out of his home, which police say is right near 2 schools. Zachary Kennedy appeared in court today for suspicion of producing and dealing magic mushrooms.
Spokane County investigators arrested the 34-year-old yesterday.
What's concerning to the state is that all of this was being done just within a few hundred feet of Gonzaga Prep and the Yasuhara Middle School, which is great potential risk to public safety there.
Kennedy is facing 4 drug-related charges as officials say he possessed DMT and mushrooms. They also seized hazardous waste and firearms at the scene. A Spokane judge set Kennedy's bond at $25,000. His next court date is set for April 1st. Spokane County Commissioner is getting a closer look at some of the challenges our county jails are facing, and they're trying to create a plan to help alleviate some of those stresses.
KREM 2's Christian Garza sat down with the Spokane County Commissioner today to get their reaction and hear their plan moving forward. Christian?
The takeaway from last night's meeting was simple, that Spokane County jails are overcrowded, and now the county is looking to find ways to maximize beds inside of their facilities, or they're going to continue what they have been doing, which is catching and releasing low-level offenders.
As the county continues to grow, crime rate will continue to grow.
Something Spokane County leaders know all too well, as both the Geiger Correction Center and the Spokane County Jail are starting to fill up to capacity.
The board is concerned about that as well. And there's no argument to be made that says that we don't need a new facility.
County leaders are trying to keep Geiger as an option to house these inmates, despite the fact that it wasn't initially built for that reason. Officials say the facility is on its last leg and needs significant investments to keep it running. It was originally built in the 50s as Army barracks, but the county has since repurposed it to place close to 200 low-level inmates that the county jail doesn't have space for. Spokane County Commissioner for District 5, Al French, says it's not just the amount of people that have changed how these criminals go through the county facilities, but the nature of the crimes they are committing.
It's no longer the misdemeanors that used to be in the jail. It's now hardened criminals.
Which is why, due to lack of space, the county has resorted to catching and then releasing low-level offenders after they are fingerprinted and give their information to law enforcement. The criminals being prioritized for space in the jail are those with felony charges. According to statistics from the Spokane County Senior Director of Law and Justice, as of February of this year, close to 17% of people booked into the county jail were released, which is up 2% compared to last year.
So yes, we do prioritize, but that practice is becoming more and more frequent.
Although the need for a bigger jail facility isn't new for the area, it's something that taxpayers and county officials just haven't seen eye to eye on.
And it is ultimately in the hands of the voters.
In 2023, the county tried to get funding for a new jail behind Measure 1. However, voters denied that measure by close to 60%, which is why Commissioner French says the board hopes to put together a new package with the help of county leaders and ask the community for input to try and get the measure passed. That way it gets the ball rolling on a new facility to keep our community safe. Commissioner French says that he hopes that this new and improved measure will be on the next ballot. In Airway Heights, Christian Garza, KREM 2 News.
Christian, thank you very much. All right, let's take a quick break from the headlines to talk weather. A lot of us woke up to a little bit of snow this morning, especially on the South Hill. Then the sunshine peeked through at least for a little bit today.
It did. All right, let's bring in our chief meteorologist, Jeremy Lagu, to talk more about the snow, the sunshine, and everything else that's in store.
Oh, we have more of all of that in the coming days. The
Good.
snow, the sunshine, the rain, the cold, the warm, the everything. It's March. March is marching as March marches. That's a technical term, kind of. 45 degrees is where we currently sit. Dew point of 14 means it's really dry, but look off in the distance. Mount Spokane right there, picking up a little bit of fresh snow earlier. Now sun shining down on it. As we move through the next couple of days, it's going to be a back and forth. We have a couple of light showers still coming down in parts of North Idaho. Sandpoint, seeing a couple of bands of moisture move through. Hayden's winding down near you. St. Mary's here on the backside of it. I think you move down into the Palouse. A few more spotty showers winds up being about it for the remainder of the evening. Tomorrow morning we wake up to sunshine. Tons of it. Very different from what we saw this morning. And then the clouds move in. Clouds take over and our next round of moisture moves in Wednesday night as rain down low. I would say rain below 3,000 feet. Then the snow moves in. It looks like we get some top-down cooling, and as that cold air comes down, we wind up seeing a little bit of snow to start the day. I'm not too worried about accumulation, but what a great way to start spring. A mix of rain and snow, and then a high near 50 in the afternoon. That's about as March gets when you're marching on.
Jeremy, thank you. Well, Spokane is getting pumped for 2 major weekends of women's sports.
Come to Shannon Mowdy is live downtown tonight with how the city is preparing for another turn in the national spotlight. Shannon?
Well, Saturday, the Pacific Northwest qualifier will take over the podium right here behind me, and then you know what happens. Across the street, Spokane Arena will host the NCAA Women's Tournament starting March 28th. But first, there's a little spring cleaning happening. Spring is coming to Spokane, and with it, a little bit of madness. Saturday will tip off 2 weekends of women's sports, starting with the PNQ volleyball tournament. But before fans feel the seats or shoes hit the court, these feet are hitting the streets.
Just so that when we have thousands of visitors coming to Spokane, they are greeted by a clean, warm, welcoming city.
Elizabeth Hooker with Downtown Spokane Partnership says their clean team is working 7 days a week to pick up litter and beautify the downtown core. And DSP contracted with another cleaning crew to expand that effort.
That allowed us the opportunity to clean up our gateways into the city, as well as anything south of the railroad in downtown.
Another crew with WashDOT is taking on cleanup of a different type.
There's a lot of eyes on Spokane, a lot of people coming in from out of town, and we want to represent the city as best as we possibly can.
Ryan Overton says the specialized 5-person graffiti abatement team will paint over graffiti along a 10-mile stretch of interstate.
We're doing a specialized target this week of kind of the I-90 core through downtown out to Argonne and Spokane Valley.
Overton says WashDOT just wrapped up its regular street sweeping, too.
We want the destination just to be as beautiful as that view as you're coming into the city. So cleaning up our gateways really says, hey, we're so glad you're here. Welcome to Spokane. We take pride in our city, and we want you to love it as much as we do.
Well, the PNQ starts this weekend, as I mentioned, and then Spokane will play host to Sweet 16 and Elite 8 games for the women's NCAA tournament, again, starting March 28th. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
Shannon, thank you very much. And KREM 2 is your tournament central. The Gonzaga men's basketball team made the NCAA tournament as an 8 seed after winning the WCC championship. They'll play 9 seed Georgia in Wichita, Kansas on Thursday. Tip-off for that game set for 1:35 p.m. on TBS.
Hello everybody, we're headed down to Wichita, Kansas for the first round of the NCAA tournament as Gonzaga gets set to take on Georgia in a battle of the Bulldogs.
Big deal. I've been keeping an eye out for Gonzaga fans. We haven't seen them yet. We're getting an early start on the trip down there. So we're going to be looking for fans. You're going to be tracking all things players, coaches. I'm going to be looking for you folks in the stands. So we're looking forward to hearing from you guys and track our progress. We'll be checking in all throughout the week as we get to see first round in Wichita.
Yeah, so stay tuned with us all week long here on KREM 2. We'll have all your Gonzaga coverage from Kansas.
All right, as you just saw, Andrew and Amanda will be in Wichita for all the action. They are hitting the road with the Zags. They'll have reports from Wichita, Kansas starting tonight. And Amanda, Andrew, not the only ones flying to Wichita.
No, earlier this afternoon, the GU men's basketball team posted these pictures on X, simply saying Wichita.
So the team will be on their way to Thursday's game right now.
And March Madness is also your time to shine. Right now, you can compete in the Northern Quest March Bracket Challenge. The contest is open right now on KREM.com. It'll stay open through this Thursday at 9 a.m. And if your bracket does better than KREM 2 Sports Director Andrew Quinn, well, then you could win pizza from Papa Murphy's. And the person with first place here locally, well, they will win a prize package from Northern Quest.
All right, still ahead tonight, a star Eastern Washington University football player has returned to the Pacific Northwest. Just ahead on KREM 2 News at 5, we'll hear from Cooper Kupp about his new job.
And splashdown complete. The long-delayed journey home for 2 American astronauts comes to a happy ending today.